Chairman, I do always find the juxtaposition of comments from Mr. Correa and mine to be helpful to me, because I think you've hit on it. Before you can solve a problem, you've got to discern what it is. So if you're going to send more money for border agents to process people faster into the United States, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that you're likely to have the result of fewer people coming into the United States. Just a guess. Well, no. I am, but I'm starting there. Believe me, I'm getting ready to. Believe me. Mr. Hunter, I was struck by the beginning of your testimony. You say, you give, at the beginning of your testimony, you listed causes of the significant increase in irregular migration: violence, food insecurity, severe poverty, corruption, climate change, fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic, dire economic conditions. That's 7. Let me ask you this. I'm looking at the, I think this is the National Immigration Law Center, a pro-immigration group, says, it described this, and it's one of them, you can find this description anywhere. On January 2021, just hours after being sworn in, President Joe Biden took several immigration-related actions that together signal a new era for immigration policy. They comprise an important first step redressing some of the ways in which immigrant communities have been profoundly harmed, in particular over the last 4 years, and towards the United States becoming more welcoming of immigrants and refugees. There's an appearance of Secretary Mayorkas on CNN that everybody's seen recently, in which he said, "We've rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them." Too many to list. I wonder, as you were describing the causes of increases in migration, why did you omit all of those landmark changes in policy by the Biden administration?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the question. In illustrating the various drivers of irregular migration, I was highlighting why people are on the move. When it comes to policies—
Do those policies, those landmark policies, do they have anything to do with the significant increase in migration across the United States border that some of my colleagues are now saying is a crisis that Republicans need to solve?
Mr. Chairman, we have seen surges in irregular migration historically under presidents of both parties.
Right. I'm asking about these policies and whether they caused the crisis that we now see. Will you answer that question?
Mr. Chairman, no, our policies did not cause the reasons in rogue regimes such as Cuba, Nicaragua.
So rogue regimes had something to do with it, but not the dramatic change in policy by the Biden administration. Is that what you're testifying to this Congress?
The administration's policy and our strategy at DHS is to reduce irregular migration.
And you believe it's been successful then in reducing irregular migration?
Within the bounds of our authority and resources, we have a two-pronged approach to enact and enforce strict consequences.
Okay, enough. Ms. Youth, let me switch to you because you were very candid. You said since 2021, to address irregular migration and ensure our national security, the United States has led the largest expansion in decades of lawful pathways to the United States. So would you say that the increased migration across the southern border is a feature, not a bug?
No, so lawful pathways are the pathways that people can use to arrive safely through the southwest border, not through the southwest border.
That's not what I asked you, though.
Yeah.
What I asked you is, would you say that the increased flow across the border is a feature, not a bug, of the policies of the Biden administration?
No, I wouldn't say that it's a feature.
Is it a failure of the Biden administration then?
No, I wouldn't say that it's a failure. I would say that this is a symptom of something that is happening all over the world. There are more than
certainly not the fault of any Biden administration policy.
There are 110 million people who are displaced globally, and 20 million of them are displaced in this region. This is something that we're seeing throughout the globe. Our European partners are also facing similar challenges. This is not something that is simply—
I know. We've seen what happens in Europe and elsewhere in the world when American leadership there fails too. But That doesn't explain why we've had the massive numbers from the beginning of the Biden administration across the U.S. border, but I think you've hit on it. That the most significant expansion in so-called lawful pathways. Let me ask this question. Doesn't the Congress make the law?
Yes, sir.
So the administration doesn't make law, does it?
No, sir.
That's exactly right. I've run out of time.